Hey, how's it going, guys? It's been a while since I've made a video. This is actually the first video I've made by myself, which is kind of weird, honestly. But I've been thinking about something that I really want some input in on, and I think YouTube's a great way to do it. I've been reading a lot lately, a lot of fantasy books, a lot of science fiction, and I've been watching an insane amount of Doctor Who, which I think is good for the mind, but that's neither here nor there. It does have to do with what I'm talking about, though. And that is time travel and parallel universes. Now, I'm obviously not a professional, but I want to get your opinion to see if you agree with me, disagree with me, or you know what's going on. Because in Doctor Who specifically, and a lot of people think this, that you can go back in time without doing anything. You can go back in your universe, go back in time to, like, say, 1960, and then come back to 2010, and everything will be absolutely fine as long as you don't drastically change anything. But my question is that actually possible? Now, I personally don't think so. I think that if you go back in time, regardless, you can't come back to your time period, or you can't come back to your universe, because when you go back in time, you may go back in your universe, but just being back there automatically spawns another alternate universe. Let me try and explain it just a little bit. I want to use an example from Doctor Who, first off. In Series 1, I think, of the new series, the Doctor and Rose go to what's supposed to be the fourth great and bountiful human empire on Satellite 5, but they find out that it's actually not the future that the Doctor thought it would be. Now, that right there implies that the future was changed, but if something was changed in the timeline, doesn't that spawn an alternate reality? So the Doctor went to the fourth great and bountiful human empire at one point in that year, but then he went back in time, something changed, and then he went back to the future, and it's a completely different future. That means it's a different reality, doesn't it? That the future that he knew with the fourth great and bountiful human empire actually exists, but it's not in the reality he's in. So does that make any sense at all? Okay, so with the Doctor crossing over, well, I'm not going to say crossed over yet. We're going to take it as it is and just say that it's the same reality right now. But my question that I'm posing is, if it's not the same future he knew, it should be a different reality, should it not? So I want you to answer that question. Tell me what you think about that one. Now, for everyone that says that you can go back in time without jumping into an alternate reality, I can see where that can happen, but it's a question of how it happens. Like, my idea is you can go back in time and stay in your reality if the past is dependent on you being there. Because if it's not, then the past happened without you, and the minute you go back to the past, it's a completely different reality right off the bat. But if you go back in time and you cause an event to happen, like in the classic series of Doctor Who, where the Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky went to Rome, and the Doctor actually caused Caesar Nero to come up with the idea of burning Rome. Or in the new series, where the Doctor and Donna went to Pompeii, and it turns out that the Doctor caused the eruption that happened there. In that, he was part of the events that happened, so he didn't alter reality at all. So in those instances, in my opinion, he could actually stay in the same reality because he was part of the original timeline, whether he knew it or not. So does that make any sense to you guys? I definitely love your opinions on it, and I want you to tell me what you think about time travel and parallel universes. We're not going to argue about whether or not time travel can actually happen. That's a moot point, whatever it's called, because we're assuming it can. That's what this argument is based off of. So time travel can happen. Tell me about parallel universes and time travel. That's what I want to know. And also, I do have a couple other questions I want to pose to you guys. But that is, when reading stories, do the names of the characters affect how much you enjoy the story? Like, if you're reading, say, a fantasy novel or a sci-fi novel, and the characters have really weird names that you're not used to, does that make you enjoy the story less, or are you more concerned with the plot? So let me know if in stories you prefer characters with names that are more similar to ones that you're used to, or if you're okay with characters that have really weird names that are supposed to fit into the plot line. Whether they do or not, that's another story, but with names that are supposed to fit into the plot. So I'd love to hear back from you on that, and just make sure you comment either down there or do a video response. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll definitely respond to everyone that I get. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.